Hey YouTube, it's your boy Widgie here, coming at you with some more Age of Empires 3 Definitive Edition. And today I give you some more Aztec gameplay. I know you guys are loving the Aztec stuff. Not many people are putting anything out around them, and I'm going to be giving you some more juicy content in the future. And of course, today I'm going to be showing you another game. This is going to be like a replay analysis, replay run through of myself playing as the Aztecs versus a potential developer of Age of Empires 3. Now, I'm not too sure if this guy is on the developer team. Now, I think his name is, we'll get into the replay, I think it's called Smug Mug. And he said that he is the developer and he's trying to sort out the Aztec versus Port matchup. So this is what he says in chat. And I'm not entirely sure if he is a developer, I don't know. And it was a very interesting game. So without further ado, let's just jump straight into it and let's get this game going. Right guys, you find me on the battlefield here, myself playing as the Aztecs of course, versus, yes, Smug Mug playing as the Portuguese. So without further ado, we are going to hit the play button, and I will be fast forwarding or sort of skipping through a few bits here because this was quite a long game. But the crazy thing is, this guy sort of declared to me that he was a developer. And that they've been looking at the matchup between the Aztecs and the Ports, and they said that they're going to try and sort out the Aztecs because they're quite underpowered. Now, in the recent PUP, the public preview build, I didn't actually see anything in there. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, I didn't see anything in there for the Aztecs apart from the Puma Spearmen change. So the Puma Spearmen are going to be a little bit cheaper. So, kind of interesting. I'm not too sure if he is, but as I say, you guys let me know down in the comments below. If you know that this guy, Smug Mug, is actually one of the developers, that's kind of crazy that I am actually playing against one of the developers of AOE3 DE. But we do start off with the classic house, market, and community plaza. Now, the crazy thing here is I was going to do my classic timing attack. So if you don't know what my timing attack is, it's with the Mayan Allies card, which gives you 11 unique spearman units for 500 gold in Age 2. So I've been doing that on my Twitch stream quite a lot. Twitch stream, by the way, at Widgie1. And I've got a video on the timing attack and a guide of how to do it and everything like that. But what happens here is I accidentally select the wrong deck. And you can see that he's asking me, like, are you live? So he knows that I'm a content creator for AOE3, which is awesome. And unfortunately, I am not live at this point. I was playing offline here, trying to get better with the Aztecs. And you can see here, macro split. I am over gathering gold here because I want to get hunting dogs, which is your 50 wood and your 50 gold. So I need to take these guys off of gold. So I'm a little bit sloppy here. Should be moving these over to wood a lot earlier. And you can see I haven't picked my deck yet. And if we go over to Smug Mug here, I don't think he hasn't picked his deck yet either. And I seem to have quite a good time against Ports because of the timing attack or rush of Aztec. It can be a bit daunting for Ports, and of course they've recently been nerfed with the reduction in power of their militiamen or their town militia card. So yeah, let's move back over to me here. So you can see here, I am now moving the vills over to wood, which I need to do so I can get my hunting dogs. And then I'm going to just be aging up here. So I'm just going to speed it up just a little bit here because there's nothing much here to really talk about. Okay, so now we are starting to get into the next age. I had a little bit of an issue here. I accidentally lost my explorer, so a lot of things are going wrong for me here. I've selected the wrong deck. I've lost my explorer, and yeah, he's aged up a lot quicker than me. And if we just have a quick look at Smug Mug's deck, it's Fish and Revolt. So interesting deck now. That's going to give you a lot of hints as to what he does. I don't think he actually does go on the water, but we shall see. And of course, my deck here is the incorrect one. This is the 1v1 land deck here. And yeah. I mean, that is quite a good card there. 6 Skull Knights for 350 food. And what a card. What value. So we do see me going for the 700 wood here. So I've got to try and sort myself out here a little bit because I've picked the wrong deck. So I've got to try and make do with what I got. However, I've got a ton of experience. Look at all these shipments that are ready to go. The reason that is because I went for I made sure to train some Eagle Scouts. I accidentally trained too many of them at the start. You just need to train an extra one. So if you have 2 of them with your Explorer, it really helps you get those bigger treasures and secure further XP. And that's always good. So you can see here I went for the Town Center Big Button, which pops 3 Jaguar Prowl Knights. These are really good against heavy infantry. They have quite a high siege as well. And I'm just trying to gather up my troops here. I did put a defensive war hut here because I didn't know what he was going to do. I was quite late in aging up, and I didn't want to just lose my war hut to any sort of musketeer units or something like that. So I did put it defensively. And you can see here that I'm starting to get 9 slingers in and then a further 6 Puma Spearmen to help out with any buildings. And you can see here that I'm sort of just macroing now. I stupidly mined 500 coin here. This was supposed to be for the Mayan Allies card, and then I realized at that point that I selected the wrong deck. So not the best thing. I basically mined 500 gold for nothing. Now what I could have done here in this situation, instead of just leaving 500 coin, I could have maybe used that to get more spearmen, or I could have decided to age up. You know, I've got 500 gold sitting there. I could have moved everyone over to food, and I could have tried to see if I could maybe do some sort of turn it into maybe like a semi-FF and get into age 3 quicker. But I did not choose that. I decided to stick in age 2. I love age 2 play. As you guys know, if you know me, I love to play age 2. I just don't like aging up. I want to end the game in age 2, and if I don't, then I don't. That's kind of how I like to play things. So you can see here moving up now with my slingers. Let's have a quick look at Smug Mug here. The purported developer. We're not entirely sure if he is. He's built that TP there, and I know that. And what I'm going to do, that's going to be my first target there to reduce his XP so that he stops getting shipments. And you can see here sort of a classic sort of port defense. We do see the livestock pen, which is absolutely insane. That gives you all of that food, and it enables the Portuguese player to stay in their base a lot more, so to be even more defensive, so they don't have to venture out and attack hunts. So you can see here now that I'm starting to siege this down. I've got my Jaguar Prowl Knights here helping me with the siege, and it's just sort of building the mass up. 6 Puma Spearmen, that's going to help with the siege as well. And we now are just going to be going into full Coyote Runner production. Just macroing that easy food and wood. And then when we get into a better position later on in the game, when we've got further villagers, we'll then start to move some over to gold. But we already have 500 in the bank, so that's quite nice. And as I say, I could have used that a little bit better, but I didn't. We've now got 17 slingers. We've got a mass of 30 troops. And you can see here that I've got my 6 Puma Spearmen now coming out. I built a further war hut. I could have built this second one maybe closer, but I decided to stick with it. And just getting used to this sort of drag thing here. It's kind of interesting. So yeah, so you can see here what I'm doing. This is what you got to do with Aztecs, guys. You just got to keep circling their base with a few Coyote Runners. Keep them in their base. Get your map control. And basically go from there. So you can see here I'm starting to push in with some forces. Going to poke now with a few of the slingers. Force him to go back into his TC. We do see a fortress age up now. So you could say this was a fast fortress. It was kind of late though. It's just nearly 9 minutes getting into the fast fortress there. But we do see an FF from the port player here. So 3 TCs are going to be difficult for me to take down. I am going to deny him of this market. You're probably asking why. It's just to be really annoying. You know, if you deny him of that, he can't trade up any resources like from gold to buy wood and stuff like that. So I'm kind of stopping him from doing that. All of his vills are idle right now. I'm idling absolutely everything. He hasn't got any vills anywhere else. I'm checking. I'm making sure I've got a sheep here. Well, I did have a sheep, but checking that he's not up here, because that would have been a great spot for him to be secretly getting stuff. But he is now popping his militiamen, as we see, and I'm just going to task my slingers on those militiamen to try and take them out. Just look, absolutely decimating them. I love it when the macemen just fly out like that. Look, they get absolutely destroyed. Look at that. Getting wrecked. That's what I love to see. And we do see the fort card coming down here, and I make sure to deny him of this fort. So this is a real blunder for him. You know, he should have put it maybe further back, but he hasn't got any military, so he's gone super greedy. No barracks, nothing in sight. So he is going for the full, like, age sort of 4. And this is where he starts to get nervous, you know. He's going, shee, like that, because he hasn't got any resources in right now. He's got no troops, but all he's got is these TCs to provide some fire. And they are doing a good job. So I think it was a good decision for me to back off here. I don't want to lose all of those units. And you can see back at base now, I'm starting to queue some Puma Spearmen to help me with the siege. And I'm getting a further 600 wood shipment. What I could have done here maybe is gone for the 3 warrior priests. I don't think I really need a further wood shipment. I think either going for the 5 vills for eco or the 3 warrior priests would have been good. But I decided to go for the further wood there. So we do see that now he's come back out. He's starting to mine again. He's only got 21 vills. I've got 23. And we do see... I'm just going to be remassing. So he's gone for the... What's he gone for? Each dock will create 4 fishing boats. Why did he go for that? He hasn't got any dock. What? What's he doing? So he's gone for the Portuguese White Fleet, but he hasn't got any docks. He's got one lonely caravel just floating around, and that's all he's got. Very strange. It's not working too well for him here. Anyway, so we do see I've got now more Puma Spearmen. Going to be moving in here, see if I can try and siege this 1 TC. But I do see he's got this extra fortification card, which is going to make my life incredibly difficult to try and siege this down, because Aztec are renowned. Is that even a word? No, what's the word? They are renowned. That's it. Renowned. They are renowned for having terrible siege. So you don't really have an answer, and that's the same with a lot of the native civs, the lack of siege, you know. And with the upcoming patch that will make the Puma Spearmen a lot cheaper, with 42 siege, like, that's good. So hopefully we're going to be seeing more of maybe a Puma Spearman composition, maybe a Puma Spearman with the slingers. That'd be quite nice, but we'll have to see. I think still the Coyote Slinger is really good, but with Aztec, you've got to make sure you've got to have a composition. Excuse me. Sorry, you've got to have a composition of 3 units really, especially in H2. So it can get kind of tricky with the micro. You can see here, this is what we're doing. We're just trying to siege here. Let's have a look at base quickly. You can see that I completely forget that I've got 3 vills or 4 vills tasked on the plaza here. And I've made sure to do the increased damage to see what I can do. But it's not really doing much. Only 6.4% increase of damage. I've got further Puma Spearmen coming out. And now I start to get the Warrior Priest. So I think I should have got that probably before the 600 wood. And sometimes going 5 villager when you first age up can be good, but it depends on what you're doing. If you're rushing and stuff, you don't want to do that, because that's more eco involved. I am going to use some of my wood. Look how much wood I've got. That's why I didn't need it. Look how much wood. 600 wood there, and I'm building a 3rd war hut here to help with production. I've got another 10 Puma Spearmen coming out on the way. If I have a little look back here, we do see him rebuilding the market, you see. I'm being a nuisance. He obviously needs that market, and he's nowhere near aging up right now, you know. I'm going to use my coyotes just to scan around, make sure that he's not up here gathering resources. And I didn't even notice this. We do see 3 docks being created here. 3 docks going down. And you can see my coyote runners just going round. I didn't even notice that because obviously it's on the island, so I'm never going to be able to see it. So that's quite nice for him. I'm not going to be able to see it at all. So, and yeah, we do see the vills coming back out for him now, and he's got the good old TM, the Town Militia, also called the Colonial Militia, the CM card or TM card. It's recently been renamed, and he's lost a TC here, so I'm trying to see if I can make my push now. I've got quite a lot of Puma Spearmen here, 19 Puma. However, he does pop those Militia, which is going to cause me a problem, but I've got the Slingers to hopefully try and deal with them. And we are ahead in score, which is always nice to see, because Aztec, just like Russia, always seem to have quite a lower end score, and it can be a bit deceiving. So we do see some more Puma Spearmen coming in to join the fight. and we've dispatched his units here. But now he's got this CM card, so he's got even more coming out here, which is really frustrating. But we are just going to back off here. We don't want to take this fight. It's too many for us to take, and he is going to get a few hits off here, unfortunately. And this is where I start to get a little bit annoyed, because I don't know how to deal with this, you know. As Aztec, it's really tricky. I'm not too sure how to deal with this, to be honest. He's got some fishing boats here. He hasn't assigned to anything. Let's have a quick look. I've used nearly all of my cards, and this is the sort of awkward point, you know. I've used all of my cards. Like, what do I do here? If we go back over, you can see here that I'm I've got some buffalo up there, which is quite nice, so I can use that. I've just used all of my gold. I've got a nice fat sheep here that I can use. But I do have map control. That's something I do have. You know, look how tight he is in the map here. Look at that. If I take the view off and I go to Smug here, he hasn't got any scouting at all on my base. So he's got no idea what I'm doing. You know, he's so tight-knit here. You know, so that's one thing that you can do with ports. You know, yes, they are very good defensive civ. They can do a lot. However, the plus side is you get all of this map. You get all of this to work with. You know, I could have started building TPs. You know, I could have got maybe the stagecoach. Could have got stagecoach with that extra wood there that I've been chopping. I could have gone for stagecoach and really gone all out with the eco. You can see here I'm getting 5 vils in. I've still got the war dance here, giving 10% to all units. I probably need to change that to either XP or the fertility. And you can see here I'm just sort of thinking about what the hell should I do right now? Like, what can I do? You can see over here that I'm still scouting around with the coyote runners, seeing if he is going out to the hunts. And I see that he isn't. He's not even going out to the mine here. So he's going to run out of gold. You know, he's only got the one mine there, and the next one is over here. So he's going to run out soon. He's got to move out at some point. So I'm not too scared about that. But we do see that he is now... He's got a ton on wood because he's going to the sea. And I didn't even know this, actually. I didn't even know that he was going on the water. Yeah. So this is quite nice of him. I should have definitely spotted that potentially. I should have checked the deck and realised that he had ship cards in here, like water cards. I should have realised that. So he actually sent the Portuguese White Fleet way too early, and he actually didn't have any docks. So that was completely useless when he used that earlier on. We do see now 1,000 coin coming in for him, so he is getting ready now. But he's got no military buildings. This is what's crazy. Look at it. He's got no military. He's just surviving off of his TCs with the extra fortification and the militiamen, which is it's just really strong. Really strong. It's definitely not my playstyle. I hate playing super defensive like that and turtling, and I can't stand it. That's just not my playstyle. I like playing in Age 2. I like playing, obviously, like going for a timing attack, going for a bit of a rush, trying to end it in Age 2 and get map control. That's what I like to do. And also, I do like to play boomy. You can see I'm getting into Age 3 here. I went with the Messenger, which gets me a quick age up. And I do eventually get into the next age. And I ask myself, what the hell do I do now? Well, what I need to do is get a noble hut down, which is the advanced military building. And I need to start making some siege units. You know, I could just spam the spearmen. You know, they do have 42 siege. I could do that. I could get Jaguar Prowl Knights maybe. I could even just get the 6 Skull Knights here. You know, they have really high siege. They're like a bulky Berserker unit. A bulky Jaguar Prowl Knight. They're really good at pretty much anything. You know, they're high health, just a big, lumpy sort of unit. And this is what I have to play with. So it's kind of an interesting sort of third age. We do have these really nice ones here that cost 500 coin. So it's important that if I am going into Age 3 that I have a lot of people on coin, because I'm going to want to be producing units as well as getting these out. So you can see here I'm just having a little snoop around. I see that he's obviously gone ahead and he's built a third TC again. And if I have a look here, he is getting now into Age 4 with the Viceroy or the Viceroy. I don't even know what that is. And we do see an artillery foundry going down now. So first military building for Smugmug. And if we go back over to myself here, you can see that I'm preparing to do another push in and see what the hell's going on. Score is relatively even, and now I'm creating the slingers because I'm worried that he's going to be having quite a lot of militiamen. So I need to make sure. But I realise here that it's just too much to try and siege down. Like, he's just got too many TCs. And I don't have enough spearmen. I've only got 9 spearmen. And you can see now that I'm getting the arrow knights. That's what I mentioned from the noble's hut here. The arrow knights are your siege unit. They're pretty much the only siege unit you have. However, they are also good at taking down other people's artillery. So other artillery, they're good against artillery and buildings. So you could sort of treat that like the siege elephant from India. Very good at buildings and at artillery as well. So they're sort of like a culverin and a falconet combined. And now I see that he's gone into industrial. And I get really annoyed when I see this because I'm just like, I don't know how to deal with this. How on earth is he doing it? I should have realized that he was going on the sea because it doesn't make any sense. You know, he's not getting any of these hunts. It doesn't make any sense to me how the hell he's getting all of that food. And I should have known that he was going onto the water. But, you know, these things happen. You can see here that I'm now getting the upgrade for the spearmen, because I want to use spearmen, but this is a bit conflicting because I'm going for the arrow knights. And the arrow knights only have 36 siege. They're not really that good. You know, like, your spearmen do 42. You know, if you can get them in, you know, rate of fire is 3. Rate of fire here is 3. So it's exactly the same. So really, these arrow knights, yes, they've got really good range resist, which makes them good. But I don't know. He has got some veals actually in here. How many has he got in here? He's got 12 at the moment. So I've got 55 veals. He's got 55 veals, including his fishing boats. So my eco is probably just in the same sort of match as he is. And you can see here now I've got my elite coyote runners. Looking absolutely amazing. Rocking that, and we see 52 siege now. I'm going to be honest, I think going Puma Spearman is just better to try and siege stuff down. The only issue is you have to have some coyote coyote runners because of all these siege here. That's the only issue. You can see that? How he just wrecked all of my units there with the Rebalds. Very scary unit. See here, Smug just went for, he's gone for the, there you go, look, the classic, the conscription again. Going for the conscription card. And now, once again, I just back off because I don't know how to deal with it. It's just crazy. And he is building a fort here, and I really don't want him to get this down. So luckily, I do have some arrow knights here to try and deal some damage to it before it gets up. And I'm getting some more arrow knights. And I really don't have a lot of troops here. He's really whittled them down, especially because of the Rebalds here. Or they're sort of basically an upgraded organ gun. Really doing damage. I don't have a real answer for it. And honestly, like, my macro is very split. Here you go, look, WTF, what the fuck. I just don't know how to deal with it. This is the issue. So we do see that I'm just going heavily on gold here because I really need it for pretty much everything. I'm trying to get further arrow knights in, and the composition is kind of strange here. I don't really know. I'm trying to think of the composition that I need. If he's got militiamen, I'm going to need slingers. So I kind of just go sort of slinger with arrow knight, and then I have a few coyote runners to try and deal with any raids and stuff. And that's kind of what I'm doing. I've switched to the fertility to try and boom a bit here. So 195% increased production rate. That's absolutely insane. That's triple. That is triple speed, which is crazy. You can see the arrow knights here coming in. I should probably switch over to the war dance, and I'm getting eagle runner knights here, and this is really good for me. Coyote runners just coming straight in, absolutely messing up the organ guns there, which is nice. And I mean, these guys are pretty good. They can take on quite a bit of heavy infantry. What I should have done is look at this. I didn't even notice this. All these guys up here Didn't even see that. You can see my view, which is a shame. And now I'm getting Eagle Runner Knights. That's what I'm going for now. So I'm just backing my Arrow Knights off here. So, because honestly, I don't know how to deal with it. So I'm just saying to myself, what do I do? Like, do I go Eagle Runners? They don't have any siege. Siege is terrible. 8 siege damage. The Spearmen are probably better off, to be honest, rather than Arrow Knights. If I walked up 20 Spearmen here, it probably would have been a better thing to do. We do see, once again, more Militiamen coming out for the Ottoman player, and I've got further Arrow Knights coming in. You can see that I've got way too much wood here, so I need to re-macro, or either build a couple of TCs, or at least another TC. And I've still got it on fertility. I don't have it on the war dance here. And it's enabling me to just make all of these units and use up my wood, which is nice. But annoyingly, he's got some more Rebolds coming out here again. And we are going to get that fort down, which is nice. And I decide to just... because I can use these guys on here. Oof. I mean, even though these guys have got the range resist, right? Even though they've got resistance to range damage, you know, these guys are still going to do some damage. So there we go. We dealt with them. We've still got 16 left. We've got some Coyote runners just to help with any sort of anybody coming in. And now I can start to go to work on the TC here, because he's got 4 TCs now. Absolutely insane. We can see here that he's got all these fishing boats, which is really frustrating. I didn't see 59 Vils, and he's got 62. So his eco is creeping up now, probably past mine. We do finally see a couple of military buildings going down. I mean, look at all the wood he's got. It's insane. He's got way too much wood. And he's starting to create some horse artillery. He's using that wood with the gold, and then he's trying to get some Cassadors out, which is interesting. So we do see I'm still on the war dance here. If we have a look back at home, what are we doing? This is map control. Look at it. Look, we're spread out. I've got all these... I mean, don't look at these idols. That's kind of embarrassing. But I mean, look at all this map control. Look at it all. Look. I have all of this to myself, so I can use all of that. I do notice here that, you know, I want to be careful here, because these militiamen will do... oh, wait, no, they actually won't. They're hand attack. They don't actually have any hand attack damage bonuses. I didn't even know that. I thought the militiamen have extra... I thought they're basically heavy infantry. Anyway, we are going to keep going to work on this town centre. I mean, it's kind of weird. Is the range attack is like 5 times against artillery. So we are going to back off once again, because we don't have the troops. But I mean, Smugmug here, he's got 44 villagers idle because he put them all into the TC. So every time I push, he puts them into the TC, and he's not gathering resources. Okay, so that's way more beneficial for me. So what I've got to do is just keep constantly going in and in and in, and just stopping like in, out, in, out, in, out. So it just keeps annoying him, and he keeps having to put his Vils in a TC to actually fire. And you can see here, now I've moved up with some slingers. And you can see that I'm now starting to get the Temple of Sentiotl, or Sentotl. And this is an awesome card. 500 gold, right? You get 12 slingers, and it also boosts your hit points, range, and line of sight, which is absolutely awesome. A 25% hit point increase, and you get extra range. You get 2 extra added to the range. Here, this is what I'm saying. Look, no idea how to beat this. And this is like, he's like, you can't beat it. It's broken. You know? So he's admitting that he's playing the Civ, and he knows it's broken against Aztec. And I'm getting so annoyed. This is where he says I'm a developer. So if he is, I'm not too sure if he is. I don't know. I don't know if Smugmug is, but as I say, you guys can let me know down below. He's saying we are going to release a hotfix. So release a hotfix after the fix. Interesting. I'm not too sure what that means. After the main patch, I think, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if he's telling the truth. We'll see what happens. This is one of the main issues we will tackle. specifically this matchup. I mean, if that's the case, that's absolutely awesome. You know, I mean, you know, if it's still, you can try, man, but I don't know. So this is where I'm like, right, okay, well, this is an absolute challenge for me now. I accept this challenge. Let's see if I can try and deal with it. We've run hundreds of games. There you go. We've run hundreds of games. Very interesting. So Arrow Knights here coming out. And what I'm doing is I'm making sure that I've got food so I can keep pumping villagers out. I've got the fertility on. I want to keep making villagers, and I'm probably going to be really bad at this, but I've got 65. He's got 65 as well now. And scores, once again, very even. And now I start to see a market going down. I'm just going to use the Arrow Knights here. And he's got some Cazadors, but I'm going to be honest, I think... I mean, the Cazadors have an immense range resist, but I mean, I think the Slingers are pretty good here. You know, a rate of fire of 1.5, you know, and the Cazadors have a rate of 3. So it's basically double the amount. So 18 there, and I'm doing 20, so there you go. That's what I love about the Slingers, they're really high fire rate. And we do see here now the Ignite attack is coming in. I shouldn't have really got that. I just assumed that that would be for the Slingers. But it's not. I guess with this deck, it's difficult with this deck because it depends what you're going to go for. If you're going to go more Slingers, if you're going to go Slingers and Knights, I mean, you could probably go for that. I mean, you probably want to go for Knight combat first. I mean, Arrow Knight all action damage. Probably want to go for that one first, right? Yeah, I'm an idiot. I should have gone for the Knight combat first. It gives you hit points and damage, whereas I've just done one for damage. So that was my mistake there. Got to remember what I'm doing. You can see here I'm moving in now. I've got the Coyote Runners. I see that he's got a couple of Rebalds, so I'm going to be going straight on that. You can see I'm not making any more villagers. I have switched to the War Dance though, so that's 23% increase on my damage, which is absolutely insane. And we're going to see that in action now. Absolutely just, look, that's it, disappeared. 2 Revolts are gone. TC down, which is great to see. And now we're going to be moving over to the other TC here. I could go for the factories, but I want to get rid of this TC fire. So I'm going to be taking these down. You can see here that score, I'm still slightly down. More Arrow Knights coming in. And here is this Revolt. So I've had it so bad in this game. You know, I thought I really had him here. But now he's going for the Revolt, and I think it's the, is it the Brazilian Revolt? I'm not too sure. We do see now, basically, the issue with this Revolt for him, though, is that it turns all of his villagers. Apart from, I mean, there's a couple here. Sorry, it does. Yeah, it's turned all of his vills into this, you know? So, it's a real sacrifice. And now he's got to push. He's got to do something because this is the problem, you know. He's got all of these guys here, and I think I'm in a pretty good position. If I can just keep pumping out Slingers, I'll be in a good position here. You know, these guys are sort of heavy infantry. I think they're heavy infantry. Yeah, they're good against cavalry, but they are also good against shock infantry. They're kind of just like a weird mishmash. However, they do not have any range resist, so this is really good for me. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to start training up Slingers and Runner Knights. That's it. Slingers and Runner Knights with some Arrow Knights. The Coyote Runners aren't really that useful anymore, to be honest. And we're going to see how this goes here. So I'm going to have that on the attack, the 23 damage, and we're going to see what these Slingers can really do. I'm getting the Coyote Runners in here just to snare. That's all I want to do, is just snare. Move up the Slingers, get the Arrow Knights out of there, and you can see here as I'm moving up, absolutely churning through them. You can see here that I've just realised that a couple of covered wagons have popped. I'm not entirely sure what they're for. They are for another town centre and another fort. So he's just constantly creating those. That's what we see here with this. You can keep creating fort wagons, and you can also get these guys as well, these cowboy guys. It's kind of crazy. It is the, what is it? The Revolution Day. Okay, right. Let's have a look here. So this is really bad for him. So all these Slingers, look at these Slingers doing work. Absolutely just wrecking. Because the reason is I have that 30% range resist, and it's just absolutely doing work and just churning through all of his troops. And he hasn't got much left. He's only got 35 population. 35. And I've got 72 vills, 172 pop. And I've got all these Slingers and Eagle Runner Knights coming in. Eagle Runner Knights, probably the most underrated unit in the game. Insanely good. I mean, look at that, 3 times cav damage, and they're also a good sort of heavy infantry as well. They actually do 21 damage there, which is quite nice. And they have a rate of fire. Just want to let you guys know they have a rate of fire of 1.5. So they do 42 damage compared to these guys. They've only got a rate of fire of 3. So you've got to bear that in mind, that they're sort of the same rate as slingers. So that's why they're really underrated. We do see some artillery coming out here. This is really scary. 2 heavy cannons that are going to absolutely blast my slingers. They do have the range resist, but it's not going to be enough. So I've got to make sure that I really get that down. I make sure to move the arrow knights over to the cannon there to deal with it. And you can see I've just got more and more coming in. I'm constantly making sure to create units. I've got a lot on food. Probably too much. Probably need some on gold, but I mean, it's just absolutely insane how much I'm creating here. 72 vils. He is getting Cassadors, but I mean, he's only got 2 TCs left now. He's still got his factories. I'm going to make sure now to really focus down I should have probably focused down the factory there. That's it. There we go. So factory is going to start to go down. And he's only got a few Cassadors. That's all he's got left, you know, because he's got no eco. All he's got is the fishing boats, and they've most likely used all of the food. So really, he's only got really a gold income. He's probably got some from the factories, but the factories are producing heavy cannons. So he's got no food income right now. And this is where I can just excel, because I've got that map control. That's what I mentioned before, guys. Look at the map control. Look, I'm hunting right outside his base. And this is what you got to do. This is what you got to do as Aztec. You've got to secure that map and be aggressive. We do see 2 further shipments coming out for town centers, but it's not going to be enough. You can't use town centers forever. I am moving in now, and I'm just going to quickly task all of those guys. Look, just eating them up. Eating them up. And here I need to get the night combat out, and there we go. I do eventually do it. And we do see a heavy cannon coming out here. I'm just going to quickly make sure that goes down. Both gone down, or I think it's just the one instantly gone down. Going to keep focusing on the factory. Make sure that sucker goes down. Boom. There it goes. He keeps making the Cassadors, so it's not going to be enough. You know, Cassadors are not going to be enough here, I'm afraid. There's just not enough of them. And there we go. Damn GG. There it is. Challenge accepted. Challenge accomplished. There we go. GG's all around. I couldn't believe it. This game went on a lot longer than I thought. But look at this, though. Look at this. Nearly at max pop for all units. Look at them all. Bringing them all in. I've got so many arrow knights here. 24 arrow knights, 26 slingers. And basically I went slinger runner knight. Slinger runner knight. Which I think is a really good composition. I might try that composition as an age 3 comp. Try that with the arrow knights. So arrow knights, then you got your eagle runner knights, and then you got your slingers. Maybe try that as a composition. I don't know if it'll work, but I mean, we'd have to see. Also, let me know, guys. I keep forgetting, but is range resist, does that include siege damage? So if you've got a unit that's range resistant, does that resist relate to siege attack? It must do, mustn't it? Because otherwise it'll be... That's a silly question. Anyway, guys, there you go. I hope you really enjoyed it. Let's have a quick look at the post-game, because I don't normally look at the post-game. We can see here village account. I mean, that's when he revolted at 69 vils. I don't think he should have revolted. But I think that's all he had left, really. And, I mean, we could just have a look. I mean, the village account, most of the time I'm on top. And obviously, military population is going to be really funny because he barely had anything. Yeah, look how low it is. This is when he got his CM and then he revolted. And then look at this trade. Look at that. 99 to 88. I lost 11 units. Sorry. 11 units. And he lost... Look. He lost 80 units. What a trade. One of the best trades there. There we go, guys. So guys, I hope you really enjoyed that. What I want you to do, which I keep saying in every video where I mention the Aztecs, is you got to give these guys a go. All right, really try them. It's super fun. The Eagle Runner Knight, if you do go into Age 3, the Eagle Runner Knight is one of the most underrated units. A really good sort of anti-cav unit. I mean, they're they're sort of anti-cav, but they're heavy infantry as well. They're basically like a heavy infantry unit. They're a good all-round unit. They are especially good, of course, against heavy cav. And just like I said before, make sure that you try and contain the map. Contain your opponent. If you are going to play Age 2, contain them. Don't make them come out. Constantly have like a batch of coyote runners circling the base. Keep them stuck there so they don't move out, and you should be all good. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this. If you found this video entertaining, of course, please drop a like, and you can catch me streaming on Twitch at Widgie1. Have a good one, guys.